So once we start selling on eBay, there are two options. The number one is drop shipping, and the second one is buying in bulk and reselling that item onto eBay. In this video, I want to compare both of them, what are the pros and cons between both of them, and also which one is the best option for you to get started. My name is Zain Shah. I've been selling on eBay and Amazon from past 12 years. I'm a full-time seller, and on this channel, my mission is to show you how you can become a full-time e-commerce seller realistically. I try to make a practical tutorials, so if you are first time here, consider subscribing. That will be a massive help. To understand the pros and cons between both of them, I'm going to compare these on 5 different points as well. So the first one is going to be barrier to entry. Obviously, once you need to get started with the dropshipping, you're not buying any inventory upfront. You're not doing packing, you're not doing shipping. So if you need to get started with the dropshipping, if you go for, let's say, Auto-Ds right here, they have their winning product section right here inside. You can get started with all types of different product. They will do the packing, they will do the fulfillment, they will do the shipping, all that kind of stuff as well. Auto-Ds just cost $1. I'm going to put the link for that inside the description. But the point which I'm trying to make, if you go towards buying in a bulk side of the business model, you're going to have to buy the inventory upfront. Let's say those 100 iPhone cables as well. If you don't know what you're doing, and if you're not good at the product research, then you can buy that stock, you will bring that stock to your house, and then you have a room full of iPhone cables, which no one is willing to buy at the end of the day as well. So obviously, the barrier to entry when it comes to dropshipping is really, really low. So speaking of barrier to entry, my second point is competition. Obviously, when the barrier to entry is low for something, then there is going to be more competition because everybody is going to be in the same line as you are at the end of the day. No one is willing to take a risk to buy the products in bulk from China or from UK or US, wherever your suppliers are at the end of the day. So everybody is going to lean towards dropshipping. What's going to happen that those dropshippers are going to end up competing with each other because there are limited amount of dropshipping suppliers as well. So when it comes to competition, dropshipping is going to have more competition as compared to once you're going to buy something in bulk, because that's going to require you to learn about product research and then some budget to get started with that business model as well. So my third point is about initial investment. Once you need to get started with dropshipping, let's say you get started with Auto-Ds. You work with all the suppliers that they have. You can get started with little as $1. There is no such an initial investment. Down the line, if you have to pay for full subscription, it's not going to be more than £20 a month. That's like gonna get you going at the end. But a lot of people think that if you need to buy something in bulk from China or from UK, which China is going to be most of the time because the products are cheaper over there, a lot of people think like you're going to need like a 5,000, 6,000 pound worth of stock. I have seen a lot of people getting started with 150, 200 pound. And I think 200 pound to get started with the buying in a bulk business model is a decent budget nowadays as well. I started with 30 pound. I told this story about the Zip headphone many times. I got them from AliExpress. This was the first product that I have ever sold. But it's not like you need a lot of money to get started with that type of business model. So obviously, if you're someone who is on a budget, you can't afford to pay 150 to 200 pound, you're not good at product research, then dropshipping is the better business model for you. So speaking of better options, we also need to keep in mind that we need to give a better price to end user, to our customer who is going to buy something from our eBay store as well. So in the case of dropshipping, let's say a supplier who is based in UK, you are working with that supplier. They are selling iPhone cable again, for example. They bought that cable from China for 50p. They're now going to sell you that cable for 50p as well. Obviously, they're first going to keep their profit margin on it. On the top of that, they need to do packing, they need to do shipping, that also involves like, hiring someone, labor, all that kind of stuff as well. So at the end, the price that you're going to get from your dropshipping supplier is going to be little bit higher as compared to you going directly to in China and buying something in bulk as well. Obviously, once your cost price is higher, once you're doing your dropshipping, you also need to sell the product at the higher price as well. But if you are buying something in bulk, you have a control over the price, you can offer a cheaper price at the end because you're not giving a cut to someone else. In terms of drop shipping, your supplier is also making money. You are also making money, but you are making less as compared to your supplier because your supplier is actually the one doing most of the work. But once you buy something in bulk, you are doing more labor. So obviously you're going to get all the profit in your pocket. So this is also something to keep in mind. So my next point is about control over inventory and a quantity and the quality of the product as well. Once you're dropshipping, whatever products that your supplier have, you're going to have to rely on that. Whatever price they're going to offer, you're going to have to rely on that. Whatever the quality of that product, you're going to have to rely on that. So for example, let's say you have listed iPhone cable. I'm again giving you an example of iPhone cable. Your product is doing really, really well. And then your supplier will decide, okay, well, we are not going to get iPhone cables anymore. What you're going to do at the end. Let's say tomorrow, if your supplier will say we are going to increase the price or we're going to decrease the quality of our product as well, then in this case, you have no control over pricing, quality, quantity, any of this. But once you're buying something in bulk, you can always replenish your stock. All you need to do, get in touch with your supplier in China. Their factory, they will be more than happy to sell you more item at the end. As long as obviously you pay them, they are business and they are there. So this is the con of drop shipping. And in this case, again, buying in bulk wins. So this point is really, really important. Let's talk about potential for both of them. And then I'm going to give you my final verdict, which is going to be mixed with this point as well. So if you're someone who is new to e-commerce, you never sold anything before, obviously you're going to be hesitant to buy something in bulk, even if it's 150 to 200 pounds. You're going to say, okay, I'm going to buy this stuff. I don't know, it's just going to end up taking a space in my living room. I don't know if this product will sell. Obviously, you're not going to go where you're going to buy something in bulk and you're going to adopt that business model. You're going to go towards drop shipping. But at the same time, you do need to understand you have to see the potential in both of them. When it comes to drop shipping, obviously, I can tell you upfront, this is something that you won't be able to scale beyond some points. But it's not like you can't make full-time income from it. I have seen many people who do drop shipping full-time. They are making about 5, 6, 7,000 pounds. But again, it is not something that you can completely depend on, even if you're making full money, because as I said, you don't have a control over quality, quantity, all that kind of stuff as well. But again, there are different products that your supplier is going to be having. So if you're not making money from one product, let's say your supplier is dealing with another product, you can sell that product as well. So again, this is a business model that you can rely on a full time, but the thing is, there always is going to be a little bit of uncertainty in this business model. You don't know what's going to happen tomorrow. So drop shipping is okay if you're a beginner. You can make full-time income. As I said, there are people who make about 5, 6, 7,000 pounds per month as well. But if you are someone who need to fully rely on this one, and you need to scale your business beyond that point, the way I have done it as well. Like, down the line, you can scale your business. You don't even have to do your own packing and shipping. You can outsource that. Like, for example, send it to Amazon FBA, or there are companies that work with eBay sellers as well, and they do their fulfillment. Then buying in bulk is option. So what is my final verdict about it? You need to get started from wherever you can. I think thinking about which one is going to be your best business model once you know nothing is not really a good idea. So you get started, even if you have to do drop shipping, you're going to learn a lot. and you're not going to have any risk as well, because you're not managing inventory, but you're learning about listing, you're learning about what sells at the end of the day as well, and how to deal with the customer. These are all business logistics that you're going to deal with every single day, and at the same time you're going to make profit out of it as well. But don't spend that money on yourself, like trying to flex on Instagram, all that kind of stuff as well. You need to put that money back into the business and slowly move on to a business model where you can buy something in bulk. You will have more control over quantity and quality as well. But don't think about, okay, dropshipping is a bad idea, I won't be able to scale a business. This is not something that you need to think about once you're just starting out, because you know nothing at that point. So you need to get started with wherever you can. If the dropshipping is the option, of course you can make full-time income from it. But down the line, you need to scale the business. Then obviously you can scale the business by buying in a bulk as well. So do whatever you can. I also have a full training for selling on eBay. You can get started with the dropshipping and then you can scale the business model. I'm going to put the link for that inside the description. If you're someone who is looking to jumpstart your journey, and then also on the top of that, you need my personalized help. About dropshipping, I'm going to put one playlist right here. This is going to be completely free. Make sure you check that out. This is a full step-by-step information.